So it is going live now, Uma. So, hi and welcome everyone. I hope you had a good day at work and at home. What did you do to make your Wednesday a wonderful day? Do share with us in the comment section. Hi, my name is Shivali and I shall be your host for this session. Wishing everyone a happy World Music Day and International Yoga Day. Welcome once again to the 88th session of Talk to the Expert series organized by the Spectrum Autism team. The theme for us this year is empowering parents. And with this session, we take one more step closer towards that goal. And before we start with today's session, I have a small AV to show with you. So please bear with me for a moment. This AV is about what this group does. So. So this was about us, and the next slide is the Spectrum Autism एक पहल है ऑटिज्म के बारे में जागरूकता और संवेदनशीलता को हर उस दिल तक पहुंचाने की जो मानवीय संवेदनाओं से धड़कता है। रास्ता मुश्किल ही सही, पर आपका साथ और प्रोत्साहन हमें हमारी मंजिल की ओर चलने को प्रेरित करता रहेगा। This is how we design all of our activities and every event and project that we do. Autism, I want to share with everyone, is not a disease. It is a neurodevelopmental disorder. So just understand the situation the child is on. And this is about our today's guest, the expert, Uma Subramaniam. Okay, so Uma is a certified special need yoga teacher, a yoga expert who is Bangalore, who's working with a startup for women mental health and physical health, particularly about menopause. She has an experience, a wide experience of training over 1,000 graduates at Yoga Academy in Bangalore last 8 years. She's done over 50 yoga teacher certification courses. She's been the trainer there. And she has a mammoth of experience as far as yoga practices are concerned. She has been representing this country across the continents. And we're very fortunate to have her as part of our Talk to the Expert series on International Yoga Day. Hi, Uma, welcome.
Namaste, Shivali, namaste all.
Yeah, so Uma, first and foremost, from the entire team of the Spectrum Autism, would like to thank you for taking our invite to come and create this window for us. I know it was a busy day for you.
Yes, but my pleasure, my privilege and honor to be here with all of you today on this wonderful day. And if I can provide some of my experience to other parents, other women, then nothing like it. So it's my duty.
Super. So, Uma, I have read a little bit about your intro. There's a huge experience that you carry. Please take us through your experience and the insights that you've collected during that time.
Yes. So the more I think about, how I started and where I am now, all I understand is yoga is still something that I cannot define in a word, in a line. It is constantly evolving through every day of my life. through every moment of the day, and I experienced that. So it cannot be described at all. And this kind of an awareness happens over time. So that's what I have seen in these past few years. And so if anyone wants to practice yoga, wants to understand what yoga is, then you just have to start somewhere and slowly continue that. I started actually very young with my father with asanas, body movement, mostly for therapy purposes. But then I moved on to martial arts, then lived in the US for a few years. At that time, I didn't do any yoga on the mat as such, but life was going on and I was watching, learning, imbibing, enjoying, breathing through the whole thing. And when I came back to India in 2008, I again resumed a strong asana, yoga on the mat practice, continued to study a little bit more so I can be a better teacher. And it's been going on ever since. I continue to learn, I continue to teach, I continue to practice. That's all there is to it. And I'm constantly sharing this wealth of knowledge, this science, this education from our own history, culture, and past to as many people as I can.
Wow, this is so needed. This is so needed. When I read about the current project that you're associated with, where you're working towards mental health and physical health of women, especially around menopause. So tell us about that, because menopause is a time when our children also, their puberty is also going on, and we are also hitting our menopause. So it's a double situation, double tricky situation for women most cases. So tell us about this project. What is this about, and why is women health so important around that time?
Absolutely. And you're so right to put the two and two together. As we grow, our children also grow, and most of the women who are going through so-called menopause stage is because of the situation in their family, in their life, in their stage of life, literally. And so I work with Elda Health. It's a small startup that started during Corona times. A lot of women facing problems during COVID was one reason that we had time to awaken ourselves to the fact that at this particular age, especially after one or two children, after marriage, after one or two children, every woman comes to a particular awareness that, I'm no more like how I was 10, 15 years ago, or even 20 years ago, or when I was a, teenager. Everything has changed, particularly the body. That is the most conscious growth thing that everybody can see. What is going on inside the body, in your own organs, the physiology, many people will not be aware of. But you can definitely tell at the reflection, looking at yourself in the mirror, that I don't look the same. And clearly, I don't feel the same because I don't look the same, or vice versa, I don't feel good, and so I don't look good. So then we realize, and there is more and more awareness that this happens to a lot of women during this age, when the body changes, mind changes, physiology, emotionally, socially, everything changes. Along with that, like you put the correct thing, children also are growing. When they were 5, maybe you were more energetic, you were kind, you were taking care of it, everything went. When they are 10, 12, then if you you are maybe at 40 or 42, and they are going in sync. Children are going through puberty, and you are going through menopause or perimenopause, and so it really becomes a double-edged sword for the woman to manage the child and naturally manage everything else along with it: husband, family, extended family, and all of that. And body also ages. We don't like to see that the body, or say it, or feel it, or recognize it. Body is aging, and time is passing, and so there will be a lot of change. Just like how you are so happy to see an infant grow into a toddler, and then into a child, and then into an adolescent, after that, then we start ignoring. We want to be, our mind stays at that stage when you are 18, but then the body is moving ahead, and so we will have to take care of it. So that's how Elda started, and it does not leave any woman aside. Every woman that goes through the entire different arrays of different things in life goes through this menopause, whether you have children, whether you're married or not, you go through this. So it's an important part in the woman's life to be caring, to take care of it personally. Sometimes if the family does not, understand, then you need to be independent. You need to be educated about it so that you can do the right things for you. Because what you do now at this stage, when you are 38, 40, and it will set your life for the next 20 years. So that's what we are doing at Elda Health, and we have a very holistic approach. It is not only about trying to lose weight. It is not about just doing yoga on the mat. We approach it holistically, where we use diagnostics to make sure everything in the body is going on as it should be. The chemical balance is fine. We do those tests, and then we have doctors, specialists. And then we also definitely advise everyone to take up yoga and pranayama, meditation techniques. And we always tell everyone that you need to eat a nutritious, balanced food so that you're taking care of your body the right way at this stage in your life. So I work for Elda Health. And that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah. So I remember you mentioned that you wanted to start with the centering practice. So you want to...
Right. Yes. So I think that'll be a good way to introduce everyone. Is probably wondering on International Yoga Day what kind of yoga practice we are going to do, right? And I know you have more questions, and maybe others will have more questions. But let's start with a very simple practice. I just want everyone who's here to sit still, sit comfortably. If you need to lean against a wall, if you need to sit on a chair or on your bed or on a cushion, feel free to sit. You can sit cross-legged. You can sit, in any particular way that you are comfortable. For the next few minutes, you will be expected to remain still. So you have to be comfortable. So please sit down, settle down, and make sure as far as possible you're in a quiet place so you can follow my instructions. Make sure you can keep your eyes closed, sit still, and follow my instructions comfortably for the next few minutes. Sit as comfortably as you can. Keep your spine lengthened, shoulders open and relaxed, chest open. Take a deep breath in, breathe out, softly close your eyes. Become fully aware of your whole body. The whole body, from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. With your eyes closed, look at yourself as if you're looking in a mirror, a reflection of yourself in a mirror, in this posture, in this position, in this space of it. Keep on looking at yourself as if you're standing next to your body and you're looking at this. Be fully aware of your feet, thighs, hips in the seated posture. Feel the weight of your body in the lower part of your body, pressing down on the mat. Grounded. Be aware of the upper part of the body, lengthen, stretch, reaching towards the ceiling, spine long and extended. Become aware of the top of your head, shoulders, arms, chest, back, buttocks, thighs, legs, feet. So again, scan yourself and be completely aware of this body. Keep watching this body. Are you this body? Then who's watching this body? Take a moment now to observe your breath. Listen to the sound of your own breath. As you breathe in and breathe out, watch my chest and abdomen expand and contract. As you breathe in and breathe out, listen to the sound of the air that is passing in and out through your nostrils. Feel the air traveling from about 10 to 12 inches away from your nostrils, coming in from the space of practice, all the way into your nostrils and into your chest, into the lungs. Watch, feel, hear the air pass out from your lungs, out through your nostrils. Air, the source of vital energy that makes you live, makes body thrive, survive. Are you this air to breathe? You take a moment and observe the mind. Where's the mind? Is it in your heart space? Is it inside your head space? What's going on in your mind now? Many thoughts? Few thoughts? Are they random thoughts? Are the thoughts specifically about what you need to do next? Or is there just one single pressing thought? Perhaps there are no thoughts. You're simply listening to the instructions, following it. Awareness of your mind. Your mind. What's going on in your mind? Are you just your thoughts? Awareness back to your body, your breath within the body, and the mind part of your body. Awareness to this connection between the body, breath, and the mind. Slowly rub your palms, place them on your eyes. Blink your eyes.
Wow. This was so relaxing. I, for a moment, forgot that this is a Facebook Live, and I thought we were sitting in the class and doing it. Felt so relaxing. Yeah, wonderful.
So
Thank
it's a
you
very
so
short,
much.
maybe 5 minutes,
Yeah,
and go ahead.
Yeah. So, like I was reading your introduction, and it says that your master's in Sanskrit and your master's in yogic science, and you're doing so much swadhyaya that you've written, that you're doing so much of a research that around all of it. So I think everything that you have read and what you're practicing for years, like you mentioned about 1,000 students, yoga teachers have undergone your supervision and they've taken your guidance. All of this is somewhere reflecting the way that you lead your sessions, and I think it is beautiful, very powerful 3-minute session that we had just now, very calming. Now, while we speak about the women, because women go through a lot of hormonal changes right from their teenage to about the end of their life, a lot of hormonal changes their body goes through. But isn't yoga there for all? So why should men be deprived of the benefits that they can get from yoga. So would you please share some thoughts there, that how yoga should be practiced by everybody and what benefits can they get out of it?
Oh, absolutely. It's for everybody. It's never for only women. Yeah, although now I'm working in a company specifically for women's health. My previous engagement was with another company specifically looking at lifestyle diseases. So that does include children also these days, adolescents as young as 18 all the way to 65, 72. Despite all the education that we have out there, simple things like, sitting hunched back or, looking at your phone like this all day long. These are small things that you would think that an education would, let you know not to do or refrain from or stay away from or try to undo. But these very same small things about sitting in a bad posture and with these modern gadgets seems to ruin the lives of everyone. I've seen children less than a year old or less than 2 years old sitting with phones bigger than themselves. They are sitting hunched and then the parents are doing their work and the child is busy, quiet, out of sight, out of mind, out of their hair. And so it's bliss for everyone to do everything, and there is where everything starts. And so yoga is for everyone. Yoga doesn't have to be on the mat, is what I keep saying. In spite of all these years of practicing yoga, Shivali, I'm going to say you don't have to get on the mat, wear these yoga clothes and then attend a class and do it. But it starts there. I started there, and everybody starts there. From there, you realize that yoga is actually in every breath, every moment of the day, and that is what keeps you alive. And the kind of experience you get is not by just a 1 hour of yoga practice. You could be practicing even 3 hours on the mat, 1 hour of yoga practice, 1 hour of pranayama, 1 hour of meditation. It still doesn't cut it out. So yoga should be something that is literally in every breath, but that comes only with the right kind of education. So again, mostly we are, what is it called? We are attracted to and completely mesmerized by, what we see with our eyes, and we don't even have time to think that, am I doing the right thing or is this really it? And so we keep doing what everybody else is doing, sign up for a class, get on the mat, do it, like it or not like it, judge people, and then judge yourself, and then, try to do the best, but mostly not get enough in spite of that. And then simply say, it didn't really work for me. Let me try something else. That's how the search goes on. And it's like a spiral. You're running around in circles, so that's what happens. So it takes time. It takes the conviction that, I'm going to do this because I've seen there are others who have achieved something. And you should have that firm belief that our culture and history holds, I don't want to say secret, but has enough knowledge for mankind, from so many years, tens of thousands of years ago. And you cannot learn it in one lifetime. So understanding that information has been passed on from generations in paying heed. We respect our elders. We just touch their पैर छूके तो हमें कुछ भी नहीं मिलता है, with all this outside expressions. That's not enough. You'll have to try and learn, what they have experienced during their lives. And that's what yoga says, to follow something, to believe something and continue that. Dirghakala Nairantarya, regular, undisturbed, unrestricted, continuous practice for long periods of time, continuously. That's what will give you the right thing. And it does not discriminate between man, woman, child, old person, nothing. If you learn it earlier, then good for you. Your rest of your life is fine. If you have time only now when you are 75 years old, absolutely fine. The rest of your life will be happy. If not physically fit, you will be mentally happy, and you will realize that what you have achieved in your life and what you can do further. So I hope that answers your question. Yoga is for everyone. Again, I would say on this yoga day, whoever has started something, I'm really happy for you. I mean, I congratulate you. I commend you on your journey or starting your journey. But keep this up, continue this. It's not enough if you just do it on this one day. And I'm too greedy, you know. It's not enough to do just for 1 hour is what I would say. But that's where you start. That is where you start. Today is when you start and you continue every day, little by little.
Right. So the way that I look at it is each body which has a mind and a soul of its own. It's yoga is the best way to connect with your mind, body, and soul and bring it into harmony. So I think, yeah. So coming to this particular topic, which I thought was very important and relevant on this platform, you are a certified special need yoga trainer. And are there any specific yoga techniques for special need children? If so, please enlighten us with that.
Yeah. So, Shivali, I actually grew up with a child with special needs, you know, when I was growing up. And it's very vivid for me, the neediness of the child, you know, even if I was also a child, you know. I was probably just 8 or 10 years old, and you know, she was the same age as me, as I was, and we grew up together, neighbors, right next to each other. And so I know the things that I could do, and I knew the things that she couldn't do, and I know how my parents took care of me, the things that they did for me, and I know what my friends' parents had to do for her. My parents also spoke to their parents, and I grew up really closely with a child with special needs. So when I started practicing yoga, teaching yoga, you know, I definitely wanted to understand other children with special needs also. And these days I see more and more, and we all know we have statistics and what's going on. It seems to be a mystery of creation, a mystery of life, mystery of the universe, why this happens, how this happens to this day. Sometimes we don't have answers to everything, and that teaches us the humility to, you know, understand that we cannot solve everything. We can only understand and try to live with it, try to live it harmoniously, peacefully. Okay, and so yoga for children, there's plenty, you know, more and more research that comes up saying how we can deal with special needs, people with physical needs, people with mental needs, you know. And then here again, just during the practice, I told you one more element, breath is there, you know, so that connects the physical and the mental. And so sometimes when we forget breath, is when the connection is not happening. And so yoga is going to enforce on the breath. As simple as that. So you watch your breath, then the body and the mind come together. So because just the body and the mind cannot be by themselves, breath is the important thing. And so that is the yoga. So yoga is always there. You're breathing, aren't you? Everyone is breathing, aren't we? Right? And so yoga is there with you. They're right within you. You just need to see that you cannot always try to solve things in the body. You cannot always solve things in the mind. You just need to watch this breath, and then this will come together. Right? So that is the approach of yoga. That is the approach of yoga. And so here today again on, you know, International Yoga Day, I can't tell you do this, do that, and then you'll be fine. I mean, whatever I have learned is over a period of a long time, and so I cannot put it together in one. We can definitely have many, many days of being together here in your forum where, you know, I can meet parents and children together, or parents alone, children alone, and, you know, we can do some practices together to see if it helps. But the yogic approach is always that, like I said, these three elements should be together. If the mind goes faster, racing, leaving the body behind, then there is conflict. We call it klesha. Same way, you know, if the body is really fast and the mind stays behind, that is another klesha. Okay, so you will see the difference between when I say whose mind is fast and the body is staying behind, according to the growth of the child. Perhaps, this is why there is a discord. And then you will also realize the body is growing and the mind is not growing fast enough. And I don't want to call it scientific names or medical terminology, as to what child is called that, what child is called this, what is normal, what is abnormal. I don't like this terminology at all. You just look at it, all of them are creation of, if you believe in God, or if you believe God created you, or if there's an energy beyond that you have to look forward to. There is creation. You did not create yourself. Your parents are not the only ones that created you. There's a lot more behind that. So when you look at it, and you will realize that you cannot always try to put everything together. Okay? And so you will see that the body and the mind are two things, and there is the subtle balance. And again, coming back to the breath. Okay? So, and in modern education or modern research, you've always found out the 3 M's that people are very familiar with. What is it? Music, movement, and mindful fun, right? So that helps a lot of children with special needs. I'm much of a purist, so I will go back to the breath, and observing the breath is something that will bring parents together, children together also. And so my yoga practice would be about, again, music and movement and fun aside, it will be about mindfulness. I will take that up. And there are some things that parents and children can do together. There are some things only children can do. There are some things only parents can do. And we will have to keep it like that. We cannot always try to bring everything together. For children with the special needs, again, since it is very difficult to, perhaps give them a traditional yoga lesson, but think about this. They learn slowly to brush their teeth and do some of their activities little by little over a period of time. Any yoga movement, any yoga practice will also be exactly like that. You cannot try to squeeze them into a 1-hour yoga practice. You cannot squeeze them into a, strict, you have to do Vrikshasana, you have to do Bhujangasana, you have to do Surya Namaskara, that kind of a practice. So you will have to be flexible. Sometimes I feel you'll have to watch what are the movements that they like to do, and then find ways of helping them do those movements with awareness, with breath, with happiness, with some kind of mind, body, and the breath combination again and again. It may seem a rather awkward movement. Who's to say that you cannot do that movement? Who's to say that that's not normal? I keep coming back to that. That's the movement that a particular child wants to do. Just because other people cannot accept it and other normal children are not doing it doesn't mean it's not right. Children with special needs have certain difficulties and certain things they like to do repetitively. And so if that is what gives them peace, then let them find a little more peace with that. So you have to be accepting enough to see that particular movement, let them do it mindfully, let them do it with the breath coordination. So I will not force a child into doing a particular asana. Yes, you can, and it does help, certain asanas, but it should not be with a view to bring them to be like a normal child. We need to learn about them and understand them rather than them trying to fit into a mold. It's my approach always. I have lived with parents with, special needs children. I have lived with, my own life coming up. So my strong point is, don't try to put them into the mold that what you see is normal and what others say is normal. Don't try to make them be like something else, somebody else. Let them be. Let us understand them. Let us learn what it is that they are going through, and let us try to make it better for them instead of trying to make it better for yourself that they become somebody that they cannot be. That is where the yoga is. That is where the education for the parents is also. I mean, a lot of yoga practices will give them peace, will give them the strength from within to manage their days, which can be very long and very tough, very exhausting. sometimes frustrating, sometimes really disappointing. I understand that. But knowing that, you're not running a race which cannot be won, it's the greatest knowledge. It's the greatest happiness, satisfaction that will give you. It's very difficult to accept also. Every mother will say, why is my child not like others? I wish my child could be like others, These are the things. But trying to find happiness, trying to find peace, and trying to find the comfort that you're doing the right thing for the child, and child is a particular way, and these things will help. Okay? Long story short, again, there are some practices for the child, some practices for the parents, some things they can do together. We will definitely approach this, in a separate session where we can actually do some of those practices. And like I hinted, if there is a particular movement that the child does, then let the parent do it with them. And then maybe, they can think about breathing, listening to the sound of breath. Breathe in, breathe out. You can teach them. You can breathe with them. So let the child listen. Breathe in, breathe out. And the child may know to count. So count when you breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Count when you breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slowly this can become an Om, perhaps, if you like it. Om. Let the child listen to the vibrations. And again, as you exhale, also continue the same. So these are simple things that the parent can do with the child. It doesn't always have to be a prayer or a puja or a ritual. It can be for fun or time together. So these same Om chanting helps the parents also, helps the child also. Okay, and as a practice, it falls under so many of the required practices for a special needs child, whether it is the 3Ms or anything else that other research has brought about. So certain physical practices like Bhujangasana or Vrikshasana do help, but it should not be to the extent that the child is so frustrated trying to do that and struggling to do that. It will all build up in course of time. Okay? And as I said, I'm a purist, so I would keep yoga separate. I wouldn't mix music with the yoga practice. I wouldn't use, too much fun and too much talking and too much, other things blended with yogic movement. Then it defeats the purpose. Yoga asana should be about alignment and should be about the breath. It should be about your mind doing the asana and breathing. So that's really my approach. I hope that helps.
Yeah, most certainly. So what you said typically here is that even if you focus on your breath, you're practicing yoga. You're connecting with your mind and body through breath, and use that as a tool to calm yourself down, and maybe if needed, calm the child also down. Because the moment that your breath is calmer, you would realize that your actions are all little more mellowed down. So your movements also come down, right? So
absolutely.
Yeah. So any recommendations that you'd like to give to the parents, not just of special need, but parents also, because if they are strong, if they're mentally, physically strong, spiritually strong, they would raise a generation which is much more stronger. And to the parents who have special need children, how to ensure that they practice their mindfulness such that they get stronger.
So in spite of everything that I say, watch the breath, it's going to be very hard to do that in the beginning. You'll have to start on the mat just like everybody else. A simple yoga practice with a good teacher, or with a good yoga shala or whatever it is that is available. Please take that up. Start there. Don't keep looking for change. Don't keep looking for, am I missing on something? Is there something better? Whatever is available to you, it has to be sustainable. So you can't try to drive 45 minutes and then do a yoga practice because somebody said that is a good place or that is the best place. Sometimes whatever is available in your apartment, right there, somebody is teaching. Go ahead and do it. And again, you don't have to try to fit in with everybody else. Okay? Even if you are a few minutes late, or even if you can do only a half an hour when everybody else is doing 1 hour, you can inform the teacher and tell them that this is how you will start, and slowly build on that and be regular. Continue with it. Whether you are able to do it or not, try to do at least a little bit. So if it's a 3-day practice, the rest of the 3 days at home, try and remember what you practice. Don't try not to go into, YouTube videos and Google stuff and do it by yourself. You need a teacher. If you don't have a teacher, you will not know that you're making a mistake. And if you are making a mistake, you will not know how to correct it. Two simple things. Why do you need a teacher? Why can't I just do yoga from YouTube? You will never know that this connection between body, mind is through the breath. And all the conflicts are because of this missing element, right? So these are the things that a teacher can teach. So for every parent, every person, man, woman, generally, especially with the special needs children, the mother is always the one who is many of the times, taking care of the child because the father is busy, putting the food on the table, if you want to say. Or sometimes one person is stronger than the other. One person takes a bigger role. Other person is always missing. So the person who is the primary caregiver, needs a lot of physical energy, mental energy, emotional energy. So that person definitely needs to do yoga. But if it is a family thing where the child also is practicing and both the parents are also practicing, then life would be a lot better for them because they learn not just the asanas and not just to take care of the physical body. They learn about certain philosophies of life, the purpose of life and the way of life, the cycle of life. So many things you will learn slowly, how the simple practice can strengthen you in so many ways that will bring out the beauty in life irrespective of everything. You will not feel that you were given the wrong end or the lesser end. You will find the peace in whatever that you're blessed.
Right.
So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you so much. And like Uma, you mentioned that if parents want, they can. You are in Bangalore currently, and if parents want to reach out to you, parents with special need, if they want to reach out to you or for a class or something, would it be possible for them to connect with you? And how can they reach out to you?
They can reach out to me through you, Shivali. I have joined the group also. I'm not much on Facebook. I'm not much on Facebook. So if there is anything specifically you need me to pay attention to, please let me know. That's the best way. I work with the Elda Health, and we specifically take care of women's health needs. For children, I am connected with Prafull Oorja, where I got certified to be a yoga teacher with special needs. And there is a huge group of teachers who especially are experienced and certified to teach children with special needs. I can connect you with the group. So there'll be a lot more teachers. I as a single person will not be able to stretch myself for everywhere. But the Prafull Oorja is a wonderful organization that has trained a lot of teachers, really kind and generous teachers. So that will help, schools or individual families or a group like this to do this. And yeah. So I hope that helps.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking out time today from your busy schedule. I've been chasing your pants like a puppy, but then you really did not say no to me and you could make this one. So thank you so much. And I'm sure the insights and the techniques that you've shared would help the parents. And if somebody needs more help and guidance, we will connect you with Uma. So thank you once again, Uma, and keep guiding us like this. And all the very best
Thank
for
you
your
so much. I'm happy to.
Thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank
Namaste.
you. Bye-bye. So all the people
Bye.
who are watching this show today, please practice yoga. Pick up some technique that you want to do, just simple breathing, what Uma mentioned. And if you need any more help, we are always there to support. Thank you and have a lovely evening. Good night.